Perfect. All right. Well, good morning and happy Friday. It is June 3rd. We're just having a conversation this morning about it's getting hot, summer's here, and things are changing in the market. So we need to all be paying attention to what's going on. Luke and I were just chatting, and John Sear, our COO, and I were chatting this morning as well. And I'm just hearing more about more cancellations happening, more deals falling out. Lots of escrows are closing, and lots of deals are coming together. But for the same reason that Luke has mentioned this morning, that buyers are finding out once they're in escrow that they can't necessarily qualify the same way that they did a couple months ago when they previously got qualified, and now that they're sitting down and actually running the numbers on the loan, it's becoming a challenge, whether that means it's just because the interest rates have gone up, or if it's that and a combination of gas prices and inflation and everything else. It's definitely causing some challenges. So one thing we really want to be careful to do is make sure that we are out there requalifying our clients all the time. And that doesn't mean sending them back to the lender. That just means having conversation with them, asking those qualifying questions to make sure that they're still on board. Have they talked to their lender lately? Have they seen how the changes are going to affect them? And if they say no, make sure that you get them on the phone with the lender, or call the lender and have the lender reach out to them so that they can have a conversation about it. It's definitely important right now because we are seeing lots of things shifting. There's not any question anymore that we are in the shift. You can question where the peak is and when it happens, but the only thing I can tell you is that nobody knows when it happened until it's over. So I feel like in my neighborhood I've seen a peak, and I feel like in a couple other neighborhoods I've seen some peaks and things that probably won't go higher than that. And it's not necessarily that, I don't want to say prices are falling, but when a home in my neighborhood that sold for 290 6 months ago now sells for 460, I don't know, that 460 price to me just doesn't seem real. And it does feel like, since we are in the middle of a shift, it was one last desperate person that needed to buy that home, and now that home's gone and that buyer's gone. So I feel like we all really need to be very careful. I've preached this a lot lately about just making sure we're requalifying those buyers, and just really making sure we're having those conversations with sellers. I would say the main conversation we should be having with sellers right now is not to wait. If you were even thinking about selling, this is the time. Don't wait. Don't wait till prices start to come down. Don't wait until fewer buyers are able to qualify. Now is the best time to get this home sold. In the swing that we're in the shift that we're in, this is the best time. Get it done. So making sure we're having those conversations with our sellers. Right now, we are seeing a increase in inventory across the Coachella Valley. However, we are only seeing a marginal increase in the listings in our office. And what that tells me is we are not getting our fair share or our unfair share, which is really what I would hope for us to get. And that means that we need to be picking up listings. So what I need from you guys this week and over the next month is to really just hit it hard, go after every single listing you can get any sign in the ground that you can get. And if you're having challenges getting somebody off the fence, come and talk to me. Let's role play it. Me or anybody, let's sit down and role play it so that you can have a plan when you go into that conversation, and we'll help you to be as equipped as possible to have those. So I would love to hear from you guys, though. What's going on with you this week? Luke, how was your week? Would you have anything exciting that came up that you want to share with us?
My week was
Whether it be
good.
escrow or real estate related, either one works.
My week was good. I sat with Jeff Rayborn this week. As you know, yesterday he went over all that stuff. So he talked to me about all those great products. I also sat with Adam Gilbert and Joshua Gilbert this week, and they went over their procedures with this app that they use for following up with their clients and leads. Just helps different ways to help keep you on track with your leads, I guess you could say.
Sure. How
Jeff
did
was
you
more about, oh, go ahead.
can I ask you, how did you feel about the session with Jeff where you learned the Moxie tools? Like, what specifically did you learn? What tools did you learn? And how did you feel about the session?
So it was about the social media tool. It was a good session. He was really showing me what Better Homes and Gardens has to offer, which is awesome. I know I'm new as an agent, so I still need to get all mine set up and, get it ready and going. But it was pretty much, this is what we have to offer. This is what you can do. What I really like about it is, social media. I'm not big on social media. I have Instagram, I check it, whatever, but I'm not the one to be out there and sharing things and stuff like that. So that's my flaw. So with this program, you can set up a feed, and let's just say on the internet, Better Homes and Gardens like posts like a weekly recipe or something like that, they already give you the link for this article about it, and you can auto set it up so that it automatically sends it out every week, or you could set it for every day if you wanted to. You really build your own schedule with that, so it does it for you, so I don't have to like stop what I'm doing. Oh crap, I forgot to do a Facebook post this week or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's still interacting with my, my friends on my Facebook or whatever, and just putting my face out in front of their face. And so I really like that aspect of it. I haven't got it all set up yet. I plan on playing with it this weekend to really learn the ins and outs of it. But he showed me on there, they have all the training videos there for you. So, it's really all I have to do is watch a 5-minute video on how it works, and there's my answer. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
really user friendly. I just have to do it. I can't, wait for somebody else to do it. Excuse me. I have to do it myself.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about Moxie Works is that it's a
Mhm.
lot of it is very self-service and it's very
Yeah.
simple to use, but you're absolutely right. Some of it you do have to sit down and do a little bit of legwork, but
Yeah.
it just saves you so much time on a daily basis that you don't have to worry about
Right.
it once you
Especially
go
for
in
the
and set it up.
future. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
really nice. And this is where we talk about having time to work on your business as opposed to in your business. That's one of
Hmm.
those things, sitting down and having a tool like that. Sorry, give me just 1 second, guys. Hi there. Good morning. Thank you so much. Have a great day. um, it's the beauty of having that tool so that when you do need to free up your week, you're able to do that by scheduling some of these things in advance and getting them out of your way. I
Yeah.
agree. Some of the content's really fun too. So it's nice to be able to go through that and have that. I'm glad you gave me that feedback. I appreciate that, Luke. All right, who else wants to share? Who else had something go on this week that they want to talk about? If I don't have anybody unmute themselves, I'll pick somebody. How about you, Liz? How was your week? I see you've got open house coming up this weekend. You're muted, so if you wanted to. Oh, go
Yeah,
for
I'm
it.
excited to do that. Venture down into Palm Springs and get to know another community.
Yes.
That's always a good thing. And
Awesome. Where's your open house this weekend?
it's the community of, hang on 1 second. It's a condo in
It's in Palm Springs, right?
yeah, Sunrise Palms.
Okay, got it.
Sunrise Palms.
Awesome. All right, when's your open house?
Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Awesome.
And like Luke, I'm not a huge social media person. I know it's super important. I know I really need to get more savvy with it and set things up. Like you said, if you can set things up that happen for you automatically, it's this huge time saver. You're not necessarily, having to do it, for yourself.
Right.
You can get it done automatically. Why not? And that just get your name out there, get your face out there, and
Right.
having opportunities like this, I'm doing this for Craig is also it's a great reason to post, right? I
Right.
have something to post, I actually have some activity. And so even though it's not my listing, it's still a good way to have a legit post,
Right.
for your friends and family and extended,
Yes.
whatever. I mean, the thing about social media is it just blasts out there to, hundreds and thousands of people. So it's just a great way to promote yourself. If you're not doing it, you're really, you're going to fall behind.
Missing out. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And I know it's reality. A lot of people are like that, where they're like, social media, I don't want to do it. It's a pain. It's time consuming, but yeah, it's just,
you almost have to think about it as like it's like your own institutional advertising, where you're advertising yourself as an institution and just making sure people are aware of it. And like, have you ever put out a social media post and you like didn't really get very many likes, but like everybody was like, oh, I saw that thing you posted. They didn't necessarily like it, but they still saw it. And so that's the thing I want you guys to remember, is that when you're doing this stuff, even, getting the likes is important. Obviously that helps boost everything, but even just having people see it, even if they weren't compelled to like it, just seeing your face pop up is important enough sometimes.
Yeah. And it's important to get people excited enough to share it, pass it on.
Right. Exactly. All right. Awesome. Does anybody else have anything they want to share that was a good thing that happened this week? Andrina did come into the office today or yesterday, and she and I pulled together a little social media marketing plan or a door knocking plan for her, what she was going to do on how she was going to door knock and what the content of her door knocks were going to be. So we actually set up a little plan for her to have the first 4 door knocks. I think the first one we said was just going to be basically not asking for anything, just walking up. I was in the neighborhood. I was over at a house a couple doors down, and I just wanted to pop by and say hi and let you know I'm a realtor. I'm in the neighborhood. If there's ever anything I can do for you, here's my card. I'm happy to help. And that's it. And then the next time that she knocks on that same person's door, I was just in the neighborhood again. I was thinking about you, and I don't know. I can't remember what all the scripts were, but basically we came up with like a 4-step plan that she could use, that each time she was digging a little deeper and unpeeling another layer of the onion. And we talked about when do you go to Home Depot to buy a ladder? Right? It's like when you need to climb up and get to something tall, right? You don't buy a ladder just to buy a ladder. I mean, maybe my dad did, but most people don't, right? So really think about that. When is a client going to need a realtor? When are they going to look for a realtor? It's when they want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. And these neighbors in this neighborhood might not necessarily be those people. It's a little different than expireds. They haven't already raised their hand that they're interested in making a move in real estate. But it's just an opportunity for you to get in front of them, let them know who you are, let them know you care, so that when it comes time, they care about what you know. We've all heard that little saying that nobody cares about what you know until they know how much you care. And so this is just her opportunity to introduce herself in the neighborhood and to get through that. So I wanted to just share it just because it only took us, I want to say probably 30 minutes yesterday to get through it and to create the little plan that she has for herself. We even went through her little spreadsheet and what she was going to take with her so that she makes sure she's collecting the right amount of information and how that works. So also wanted to just make sure you guys know you're invited to come in and do that with me if you ever need it. Anybody else have anything they want to share that was a good takeaway for the week? All right. Well, I do want to share with you, to be candid, I didn't have a ton of information today and I don't have a ton of material for today. The message today is the same as the message has been for the last few weeks. Get those sellers off of them or off the fence. Be talking to them about the fact that now is the time to take the opportunity to get that house sold and make the next move, and really sharpen your skills on the consultative conversations about how clients can sorry, something keeps popping up in the corner here, about the consultative conversation about where they're going to go next and making sure you're helping them with that. Craig is putting out a postcard. He just had me proofread it yesterday, and it was all about what to do, like where to go, where you're going next and what that next move is and how we can help protect you through that. So make sure you're sharpening your skills on what we can do for buyers and sellers. Sellers specifically don't know where they're going to go next. We can help them by writing the offer taking offers contingent upon them finding a new home. There's all kinds of options that we have to control the situation. And so what your job is to go out and find what is stopping your sellers from putting their home on the market, your prospective sellers from putting their homes on the market, and help them overcome those hurdles. In most cases, like we've said before, they're just little speed bumps and you just got to show them the right path to get over it and then they'll go. In most cases, they're literally just sitting behind it because they don't know what to do. So it's not very different from what we've talked about before. We did the listing class a little while back. I told you guys the next class we're going to do is going to be the what to do when you open escrow. So we're going to do that class. That will be next. Let me look at my calendar and make sure I've got the right day. That is going to be next. Sorry, not next Wednesday. It's the following Wednesday, the 15th. We will be doing that class from 10 to 1. I'm sorry, 11 to 1. 11 to 1 will be, I'm trying to figure out what the name of that is. I'm trying to remember what it was. Sorry. It's basically what to do once you open escrow. So I'm going to show you how to take the purchase agreement that's fully executed, put it with documents that your client is going to need throughout the transaction, and along with a calendar of the transaction, I'm going to help you put all of that together and create a packet that you can send to any buyer or seller that you're representing in escrow to help them get through the transaction. It's a really great class on not just what to do to organize the client, but how to use the documents, how to use the purchase agreement and the statewide buyer and seller advisory to get you through any challenges that come up in a transaction. So be prepared. It's a fun class in that it's really neat to be able to show you guys a way to organize the entire transaction, and it helps the buyer and seller wrap their head around it. But it's also a really deep class that learning how to utilize that statewide buyer and seller advisory, that, you guys, is your roadmap to the transaction. And it's a 14 or 16 page document, whatever it is now. I'm not going to go through it line by line, but I'm going to go through it by section and show you how you can use it to guide your clients when they have challenges. The beauty of the SBSA is that, hold on just one second. Hey, that's enough, buddy. That's enough. Stop. Come on, let's go. All right. Sorry, Wesley wanted to say hi to somebody that was walking by. So the beauty of the SBSA is that any challenge that will ever come up in a transaction is covered in the SBSA. It's why it's 16 pages. It's why it keeps getting longer. Every time there's a challenge, a section is added to that, and it helps you get through it, whether it's geological issues, soil issues, whether it's buried tanks underground, whether it's foundations with cracks, whatever the challenges are, they're included in the SBSA. I promise you, every single one is there. And so anytime your client has a challenge, whether they want radon testing and you don't know how to make that happen, that is addressed in the statewide buyer and seller advisory. To that, we also attach the local advisories, so you have the PSRAR or the GPSR advisory, and you also have the CEDAR advisory that are basically, they kind of mimic each other. They have a lot of verbiage in them about our local issues like land leases and certain areas that are protected and fringe-toed lizards and the weird things like that that stop us from being able to do certain things. Things that people wouldn't know from outside of the area. And so it's a great way for you to be able to take those documents, put them all in one place, have them available to the client. It's not going to overwhelm them because you're not going to make them go over all of it. You're just sending them a packet to hold on to so that when a challenge comes up, you both have something to reference. So that will be that class. It's going to be Wednesday, the 15th from 11 to 1. I will get somebody here to do lunch. I just need a little bit of time to prep for it. So that will be our, what do we call it? How to close an escrow. That's so not sexy. I'll come up with a better name. We're just going to call it how to close an escrow for now. I'll send out a notification or an invite to everybody so that you can all just accept the invite, and then you'll have it in your calendars. It is going to be another live class. I'm not going to do this one on Zoom because those who attend will leave with a full packet that they can use as a template for all of their transactions moving forward. And then the next one that we'll do after this will be the lease, what to do with a lease and how to successfully conduct a lease. We've had a few situations in the last few weeks where we're having challenges collecting payment and things like that. I'm going to show you guys a couple little tips and tricks on what you can do to make sure that you successfully get paid on some of these deals, because with a lease, it can be real easy to close and not have exchanged the funds if you don't know exactly how to do it. And so we don't do them often, but we all have to do them at some point. Most of the time we do it as a courtesy for one of our buyers or sellers. And so when we do, we need to know how to do it. And I'm going to show you some things that'll help protect you, make sure that you get paid exactly as you're supposed to, and earn all the money that you should while you're doing these leases. It's come up a couple times. And then I also promised you that class will be upcoming. I don't have a date for it yet. I'm going to wait till we get through the how to close an escrow class on the 15th. And then if you go back a couple days, next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, June 11th, is the day I am going to do the, what are we going to call it? Again, I don't have a good name for it yet, but this one is where we're going to be doing the vision boards, life planning for 1, 3, and 5 years, your ideal weekly schedule, and a daily task list. It's a little bit of time for you to work on the business as opposed to in the business. And the reason I'm doing it on a Saturday is because I don't want to call it a business planning clinic because it's more than that. It's more like a life planning clinic. And I hesitate to call it that because I'm here to help you with your business. But we all know in real estate, our business and our personal lives are not different. They're all one thing. And so the very first thing that we do when we're planning our lives is the very first thing we do when we're planning our calendar for the year is we plug in our vacation, because that's the most important thing. If we don't plug that in immediately, all the other stuff will fill in over it. You'll never get to take a full week off, or you'll never get to take that break that you need. So that class, or that session, I'm not going to call it a class, because honestly, we're all going to come in. There will be 4 tasks that we're going to complete during the time that we're there. It'll be from 10 to 2. And so it'll be broken out into 4 1-hour sessions. The first hour is vision boards. The second hour is life planning, doing a 1, 3, 5-year life plan, doing your ideal weekly schedule. And then the 4th hour will be daily task lists, and kind of breaking down the tasks you need to do each day to be successful and accomplish the things that we're putting on the vision board and the life plan. So it's a weekend session. It's from 10 to 2 on Saturday, the 11th. Again, I'll send out invitations to that so you guys all have it. I'm really hoping to see you all there. I will, or here, I think we're going to probably do it in the El Paseo office, because it'll be a Saturday, and we'll be able to do it on the storefront office. So I'll make sure we have coffee and donuts and danishes and fun stuff like that, and snackies to get us through the rest of the day. And if you guys have any suggestions or anything you want to make sure we add to that that's important to you, please don't hesitate to let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to send out the invitation, and what it will do is give you all the information you need to prepare. There's some things that I like to do when I'm doing a vision board. I'll have some magazines there so that you'll be able to cut stuff out of them. I have some old ones that I'll bring over, and you can cut things out. But what I like to do is go on the internet and print things out that I want to put on my vision board. So there's one thing I could suggest for you guys to start doing now, is just start going online and looking up pictures of things that are important to you that you want to include in your life. I will share with you guys the very first thing I put on every vision board that I ever do. And I can't say have ever done, because I actually stole this from somebody else. One of my attendees to a class did a vision board, and in the very center of it, she put a clock, because she wanted more time in her life. And every vision board I have now has a picture of a clock in the center of it. So you'll see it that day. I'll do that. But that's one thing. I'll go on and print out my pictures of some things that I know I want on the vision board. I probably want a picture of a sandy beach at some point, or some things like that. So think about what you want in your life, some goals that you have. I'm just sharing some of mine. One of mine is that I really want to go to Tahiti. Bora Bora is a big deal to me. I want that vacation. So you'll see that on my vision board. And that's also why, again, this isn't just business. This is, what is the business going to do for you? How is it going to fulfill your life? So that's also why we're doing it on a Saturday, just because I don't want it to feel like it has to be all business. It can be some personal stuff too. And I want it to be fun for you guys. I'm going to be honest, I'm doing it because I need it. Like, I need the session. I've started planning it for myself so that I have some things ready for when we get together. But this is something I need in my life, and I'm sure you guys do as well. So I'm opening it up to all of you, that you're more than welcome to come join me not this Saturday, but next Saturday, so that we can all kind of sit down and do a little bit of life planning. If you're anything like me, your lives have been so busy with everything else that you probably haven't had much time to sit and just think about what you want your life to look like. And that's one of the most important steps in getting the life that you want. So, and if this business is not doing everything we need to fund the perfect life, what are we doing, right? So that's kind of the goal for all of that for next week, and or for the next weeks coming up. I think next week we have a pretty light schedule. I have all of my accountability meetings with you, but I don't have any classes. It is June. I know things are warming up. We were just talking about the weather and what that's going to look like. I think it's going to be like 95 or something today, but this next week it's going to get up into the one teens. And what I want to remind all of you is that I want you to be just taking extra good care of yourself. You should start hydrating now. Like, don't try to hydrate the day that you're going to be going out on an appointment. Hydrate a couple days before. When you're out showing property in this weather, it can really take a toll on you. And so just be prepared. Make sure that you've got not just water in the car, but cold water is really important when you're out with clients. If you go too long without that, they're going to get a headache. And at some point, it stops being fun, especially if they've got kids with them. So just be prepared for that. Have some snacks, have some things available, some cold water in the car, a cooler, and maybe you're packing it every day. If you have to do that, you have to do it. Get some cooler packs and make sure that you've got things available for you. And then the other thing is, for you guys as agents, I want to remind you that there used to be a seasonality to our business in the desert. And there was a time where this was the meeting of the year that we were kind of wishing everybody a good summer, and we'll see you when you come back in September or October. And we just don't do that anymore. We have enough people living here full time that are raising their families and living here full time and not making this their retirement community. And so we are able to sustain ourselves through the seasons now, and we don't pack up and go away for months at a time. But what that means is that we have to be a little better to ourselves during these hot summer months when it is 115 degrees outside. Make sure you take breaks. Make sure you give yourself extra time in your schedule to go home and jump in the pool in the middle of the day or take a shower, whatever it is. If you're showing property back to back or have multiple clients in the day, please don't tax yourself. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself. And I'm going to tell you, going home and jumping in the pool or jumping in the shower can go a long way for your mind and your mindset when you have to go back out there and show more property again. So it's just something to keep in mind. Get your little pack together of all the things that you want to have for your showings during the summer, and just make sure that you're ready to go so that at a moment's notice you can pull it together. I personally have a couple coolers that I like that have like a little Velcro on the top where you can just stick your hand in. I know some of our agents, they're cool. They have coolers in their car that just are automatically cold, and that's awesome and wonderful. But like whatever it is you have to do to prepare for it, just don't make it something you're doing the day of trying to go on an appointment. Get yourself those things in place. Have a couple cooler packs in your freezer and some water bottles, that just a case of water bottles in your, maybe not a whole case, but half a case of water bottles in your fridge that you can take with you. One thing to remember, if you freeze water bottles, when clients open them, sometimes they'll like pop open and water will go everywhere. So just be careful about that if you are going to freeze them. It's not the end of the world, it's water, but still it can just be a surprise in the car if you're not not expecting it. And also just also start thinking, make sure you're also thinking about realtor safety, and just think about, as you're out there doing what you need to do, making sure that you have a set of shoes, an extra set of shoes in the car. Ladies will always have a pair of tennis shoes or flats or something that you can use if you need to walk a little bit of a distance. This season is when it can be the difference in being able to do something like that, and really it becoming a challenge when it's 115 degrees out and it's sneaking up on us quickly. So just don't want anybody to be caught off guard. And worst case scenario, if anything ever happens and you need help, please just call us. Please call me, call Josh, call John, call Ben, call any of us. Call Craig, call Luke. They'll come running whenever you need help. We're all here to help each other, and we've all done some crazy stuff to help one another. So we're definitely not done doing that. I don't have too much else for today, and I don't want to ever do a meeting just to have a meeting. So does anybody else have anything they want to share before I let you guys go for the day? If anybody wants to unmute yourselves now. All right, I don't see anybody making a move. All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your week. Good luck with your open houses this weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend out there. I can already feel it. I hear a lot of you are going to be doing open houses, so I can't wait to hear the results. I'll be around this weekend, so if anybody needs anything or you have any challenges, please be sure to reach out. All right, take care and have
Thank
a great weekend.
you.
Thank you,
You too.
guys. Bye,
Bye.
Paul. Thank you. Bye,
Have a great
Luke.
weekend, everyone.
All right,
Bye.
you too. Bye, guys.